I never imagined a simple family dinner could shatter everything I thought I knew about trust. But there it was. That scrap of paper my daughter pressed into my hand beneath the tablecloth. Her fingers cold and trembling. Just 2 words scrawled in her shaky script: "Call 911." In that instant, the cozy glow of the chandelier turned sinister, casting long shadows over faces I'd loved for decades. My name is Sarah Kensington, and at 42, I'd carved out a stable life as a marketing executive in Boston, a sleek condo in Back Bay, independence after a brutal divorce, and above all, my 16-year-old daughter, Mia. We'd weathered the storm of her father's abandonment together, emerging as a tight-knit duo against the odds. So when my parents suggested Mia spend a couple of weeks at their upstate New York cabin during summer break, I'd wavered. But Mia was eager for the fresh air, the escape from city chaos. And I trusted them, or so I believed. The drive upstate wound through dense forests and rolling hills, stirring memories I'd long buried, childhood summers filled with laughter, but laced with the subtle barbs of favoritism and control. The cabin emerged as the sun dipped low, its weathered logs bathed in amber light, unchanged since my youth like my parents, rooted in traditions that felt more like chains. "Sarah, sweetheart," my mother, Vivian, called from the porch, her ash-blonde hair impeccable despite the muggy evening. "You're right on time. Emily's already here, and supper's almost done." My younger sister, Emily, living just a short drive away in a nearby town, never missed these gatherings, always eager to soak up the parental praise that had eluded me. I hauled my duffel bag inside, the aroma of baked ham and cornbread enveloping me like a stifling hug. The dining room buzzed with chatter as I entered. Dad carved the ham with his usual meticulous strokes at the head of the table. Emily laughed at some inside joke, but my eyes locked on Mia. My lively, outspoken girl sat mute, poking at her food, her face pale with exhaustion, hair unkempt. "Hey, kiddo," I said, leaning in to kiss her forehead. She recoiled slightly, a flinch that hit me like a gut punch. "Hi, Mom." Her whisper was barely audible. "Mia's been a tad off," Vivian explained, plating my food with a practiced smile. "Probably too much hiking in the heat. But our friend Douglas has been a godsend, hasn't he?" That's when I noticed him, the outsider at my old seat. A man in his late 50s with salt and pepper hair and piercing green eyes that assessed me like inventory. He offered a polished hand. "Douglas Hargrove, family financial advisor. Your folks have sung your praises." "Financial advisor? Since when did my retired parents need someone like that at the table?" I shook his hand, feeling the calculated squeeze, the appraising stare. "I don't think they've mentioned you," I replied, settling next to Mia. "Oh, Douglas has been indispensable lately," Dad interjected, "especially after Uncle Frank's passing." Uncle Frank, Mom's brother, a reclusive investor who'd struck gold in real estate. I'd gotten the call 3 months back, sudden stroke. No survivors. I'd wired condolences and a donation, but skipped the service. Deadlines at work had piled up, and we'd never been tight. The talk swirled around me, Emily's promotion at her accounting firm, Dad's fishing trips, neighborhood gossip. It all rang hollow. Mia hadn't eaten a bite, her hands quivering as she lifted her glass. "So, Mia," Douglas said, his voice slick as polished marble, "have you reconsidered our chat about your future options?" Mia stiffened like a board. I said I need time. "Of course. No rush," he soothed. But his eyes gleamed with impatience. Alarm bells screamed in my head. "What options?" I opened my mouth to probe when something grazed my thigh. Mia's hand, swift and secretive, slipping me that folded note before retreating. She stared at her plate, breathing ragged. Excusing myself to the bathroom felt like navigating a trap. The powder room was a time capsule, faded floral wallpaper. Ornate mirror reflecting my ashen face. I locked the door. Unfolded the paper. Call 911. Ice flooded my veins. My phone was out in seconds. Thumbs clumsy on the screen. 911. What's your emergency? The operator's steady tone clashed with my pounding heart. I whispered the address, 112, Pine Ridge Road. Willow Creek, explaining the note. Mia's fear. The stranger at dinner. Officers en route. Stay calm. Act normal. ETA 10 minutes. I splashed water on my face. Forced a neutral mask. Back at the table. Every second dragged like an eternity. I forked food mechanically, complimenting the ham while my mind raced. Mia's hand found mine under the cloth. I squeezed reassurance. Help's coming. Her silent tears soaked our clasped fingers. The conversation turned to my latest campaign at work, but I barely registered Emily's probing questions. Douglas cut in with a condescending edge, ambitious. Like the rest of the Kensingtons. And Mia here has quite the windfall to steward now. My fork halted. Windfall? Dad blinked, confused by my ignorance. Didn't Mia mention? Frank left it all to her. Big shoes for a kid to fill. The world tilted. Uncle Frank had willed his fortune, millions from savvy investments, to my 16-year-old. When? I demanded. Voice steady by sheer will. Well, reading 2 weeks ago, Vivian chirped. That's why we extended her stay. So much to handle. And Douglas has been guiding her beautifully. 2 weeks. Mia had been here. Isolated with this bombshell. And no one notified me? Our calls had been curt. Fine. Mom. Busy here. Now it clicked, the evasion. The distance. I tried calling you, Mia murmured. Inaudible to others. They said wait till in person. Douglas leaned in. Smile predatory. We didn't want to disrupt your schedule. Mia's handled it maturely, signed initial transfers already. Transfers? The words sliced through me. To what? Silence blanketed the room. Douglas's eyes narrowed. A family trust. Of course. Your parents and Emily as trustees until she's of age. Eases the load on a teen. Ball rose in my throat. Mia's grip turned vice-like. A silent scream. Through the window. Dusk deepened, no lights yet. I'd like to see those papers, I said evenly. As her mother. Vivian's smile cracked. You're always so occupied. Dear. We didn't want to impose. My daughter's future isn't an imposition. The air chilled. Dad set his knife down with a clink. Emily averted her gaze. Douglas watched like a hawk. Perhaps after dinner, he suggested silkily. No need to spoil the evening. I'm done eating, Mia blurted. Can I go? But your herbal tea. Sweetie, Vivian cooed. It helps you rest. Tea? Mia loathed it, always had. Another red flag, her fatigue. The shakes. Skip it tonight, I insisted. Vivian's tone hardened. That velvet-wrapped steel from my childhood. Routine matters. Douglas, fix her special brew. No. The refusal burst from me. No more tea. No papers. No decisions without me. Douglas stood. Towering at 6 feet 1 inch. Meant to intimidate. You seem stressed. MS. Kensington. Post-divorce jitters? Sometimes we see threats where none exist. Gaslighting right there. In my parents' home. I scanned their faces. Dad's stubborn jaw. Emily's evasion. Vivian's vacant smile. They were complicit. Mia. Pack up. We're leaving. Emily exploded. She can't. Appointments tomorrow, vital stuff. Douglas shifted. Subtly blocking the exit. Inadvisable to leave now. My phone vibrated. Officers arriving. Stay put. Inadvisable. I challenged. Threatening us. Vivian gasped theatrically. Dramatic as ever. Sarah. Mia's fear fueled my resolve. She's terrified. Pass me a note for help. We're out. Emily snarled, selfish. Always stealing the spotlight. Now that Mia's got cash. You're suddenly mom of the year. Shadows moved outside, cops. The doorbell pierced the tension. Chaos erupted, accusations. Denials. But I held Mia tight. Dad moved to answer. But Douglas lunged ahead. No, I barked. Mia and I will. Crossing that threshold dredged up ghosts. This cabin. These rooms, echoes of a childhood where emotions were suppressed. Achievements measured against Emily's golden standard. Vivian's rewrites of reality. Dad's silent complicity. Emily's compliant reflection. Therapy had unraveled those knots, the need to prove worth. The gaslighting that made me doubt my sanity. I'd vowed Mia would never endure that unconditional love. No strings. The divorce tested us. But honesty rebuilt us. Now, facing those uniforms, I trusted my gut against their chorus of, "You're overreacting." "Officers," I said, flinging the door open. "I'm Sarah Kensington. This is Mia, she needs help." Sergeant Reyes, badge gleaming, nodded. "You reported concern for her safety." Vivian shoved forward. "Officers. A mix-up." "Sarah has issues, ma'am." "Step aside," the partner cut in. "We speak to them first." Vivian's facade shattered. "This is my home. She's in my care. She's my daughter," I countered. "And scared." Reyes's gaze sharpened. "Private talk." With Douglas lurking. I opted for the porch. Mia clung to me. Mute at first. "It's okay," I whispered. "You're safe." Emily burst out. "You're ruining us all." There, the slip, not about Mia. But their stakes. Reyes exchanged looks with his partner. Radioing backup. Mia found her voice. "They won't let me go." Took my phone. Keys. Drugged my tea to sleep. Douglas forces papers, I don't understand them. Serious claims, Douglas oozed. Stress from grief. Reyes shut him down. "Back off." "Sir." Vivian's wails turned hysterical as backup arrived. Lights pulsing red-blue. Mia sobbed in my arms. "I tried calling, they said you were too busy." "Wouldn't care." The tea blurred everything. I doubted myself. "They were wrong," I fierce whispered. "Always believe you." Reyes took notes. Mia's arrival 3 weeks back. The Will news from Frank's real attorney, a.m.s. Harlow from New York. Vivian extended the stay. Introduced Douglas. Papers piled up. Trusts. Powers of attorney. Refusals led to basement lockups for my protection. Sedatives and tea. Emily helping force it. The basement, cot. Chair. Exterior lock. My blood boiled, echoes of my own silenced childhood pains. Like the coach who'd groped me at 10. Dismissed as imagination by Vivian. "We'll search," Reyes said. "Station for you two statements." Medical check. Through windows. I saw Emily dumping vials down the sink. Vivian rapid-fired at Douglas, who looked trapped. As we headed to the cruiser, Dad emerged. Pleading, misunderstanding, we protected her. From what? Me? His facade cracked. "You left us. Too good for this life. Now playing hero." The old wound, my escape to Boston. Their unforgiven independence. I didn't leave, I survived. At the station. Under fluorescence. The conspiracy unraveled. Detective Lopez laid out photos, forged docs, sedative bottles. Vivian's journal chronicling doses and signatures. Meticulous, Lopez noted. Premeditation clear. Entries. Mia resisted upped tea. Told her Sarah's too self-absorbed. Mia whimpered. I held her. Harlow confirmed. Frank's will ironclad. No family access. Douglas talked fast, offering emails, recordings, insurance against them. Previous schemes surfaced, cousin Lena. Coerced into signing over inheritance 5 years back. Now estranged in California. Frank's letters warned of patterns. Dad's searches, contesting wills, undetectable drugs. All in. Charges loomed, imprisonment, fraud, assault. A long night. But Mia slept safe beside me in a motel. Her breathing even for the first time. The fallout accelerated. Douglas's recordings played in our next briefing, Vivian directing doses, Emily plotting isolation, Dad complicit in family loyalty, plans to paint me unfit, divorce ammo, career absences. Cousin Lena's statement mirrored Mia's, pressure, theft. Vivian's ledgers spanned decades, pilfered funds from relatives. Disguised as help. Frank had documented it all. Choosing Mia to bait and expose them. Trusting I'd fight. Arrests widened. Emily's husband, Mark, in on offshore stashes. Dad claimed ignorance. But evidence damned him. In court. Separated trials. Douglas got 7 years for testimony. Vivian's arraignment, guilty pleas rejected. Her outburst, Douglas tricked us. Sealed remand. No bail. Judge Harlan's gavel echoed their fall. Mia testified steady. They chose greed over me. Sentences, Vivian 8 years. Dad 5. Emily and Mark 2 each. Outside. Harlow handed Mia a letter from Frank. You survived their sickness. Build with love. Not blood. We did foundation for abused kids. Therapy healing scars. Mia's college essay, A Note's Power. Belief's salvation. I wrote my book, Silent Screams, guiding parents to listen. The price? Shattered illusions. But gained unbreakable bond. Family isn't blood, it's who answers your desperate call. We drove forward. Free. Vigilant. Forever changed.